Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm going to first do a quick review of what we've just accomplished. I'm going to scroll right down here and go back to the specific post page access restrictions. And we can see that we've configured these three post IDs as being special. They're going to be protected independently from membership level access. So no one in the public will be able to access these three posts, and none of my members will be able to access these three posts. The only way these three posts can be accessed is if someone purchases specific post page access to these posts, one or all of them, depending on how I configure my PayPal buttons. And that's what we're going to cover next. Okay, so I'm going to just come right back up here. I'm going to go over to PayPal buttons in my s2Member menu. And when I come here, I'll scroll down near the bottom, and I'm going to go to the specific post page Buy Now button generator and expand that down. And I can see now I've configured those three posts, so you see they're populated here in this options panel. So now I can package together a set of posts, or even just one post that I'm going to sell access to. Now the first thing you need to decide when you're going to set up one of these buttons is which post you're going to use as the leading post or the leading page of the ones that you've configured. So again, in this menu, those three posts are the only ones that appear here because those are the only three that I've protected in this special way. Okay, in this case, I'm going to choose specific post number 1 as my leading post. Okay, what that means is that after the customer checks out, this is the post that they're going to be redirected to after checkout. So you can think of this as a thank you page. Okay, now if you're only selling access to one page, then you would thank the customer, and on this same page you would provide links or whatever to whatever it is that you've sold them access to. And you can sell access to anything, whether it's a product or a service, anything that you can deliver through a post or page that you create inside WordPress. Okay, now in some cases, a lot of webmasters decide that this is going to be dedicated as a thank you page, the leading page, and on this page they're going to provide links to some additional pages where what they've sold access to will be provided, but it'll be on a separate page. So in this case, I would choose a specific post of 1, and then I may choose to package some additional. I may choose to package number 2 and 3. So now I'm selling access to all 3. Now I don't need to select post number 1 here again. If you did, that's fine. s2Member will work that out, but I don't need to because I've already selected it up here. So when a customer checks out, they're going to be redirected to specific post number 1. And then they will also have access to these 2 additional posts. Now I will need to put links to these 2 additional posts on this page so that the customer can reach these 2 additional pages. But what you're configuring here is the authorization that s2Member handles, so that whenever a customer gets to these 2 pages, they won't be denied access, they'll be granted access because you've included them in the package. Okay? So now once we've established the posts and pages that we're going to include in our package, we just need to decide how much we're going to charge for this one transaction that's going in as a buy now for a specific post page or a set of specific post pages in this case. And the links are going to be valid for 3 days by default. Now after 3 days, if the customer was to return to their links for any reason, then the system would just come back with a white screen that would have a message that says your link has expired. Please contact support for assistance. Now you can change this. You can go as little as 2 hours, or you can go all the way up to 5 years if you prefer. And just to point out that even if you went to 5 years, you don't have to worry about these links being spread across the internet, because these links are secured with the general options panel for s2Member under the IP restrictions. So s2Member will monitor the number of IP addresses that are accessing the authorization that these links provide. And if it breaches security that you've configured in your general options panel, s2Member will handle that all by itself. So you can literally provide up to 5 years of access without having to worry about the link being spread across the internet and everyone getting free access to whatever it is that you've provided here. Okay, so that's important information to be aware of. Okay, here in the description field, you just type verbatim what it is that these 3 posts collectively are providing access to. So that way, because this is going to appear on the checkout form. So here you would just type in the description and maybe even some pricing details about what it is they're paying for. And then this is the checkout page style. This is optional. I'm just going to leave this at the default PayPal for now. But these can be created inside your PayPal account, and it allows you to customize the checkout forms at PayPal. And then you just type in the associated page style name that you created in PayPal here. Okay, this is the currency, which just defaults to US dollars. And I click Generate Button Code. Okay, it says your button has been generated. Please copy and paste the shortcode format. This is the shortcode format into your membership options page. Now, if you're not offering membership, then you probably won't do that. You'll probably put the button somewhere else. You can put this button anywhere you like, wherever it's most appropriate on your site, depending on how your site is structured. Maybe depending on the theme that you're using. Okay, this is just a suggestion because the membership options page is sort of a focal point. So, because this is the page where everyone is redirected to, should they attempt to access an area of your site that they're denied access to, they'll be redirected here instead. So it's a good place to put your PayPal buttons, and all the information that they need in order to purchase access could be centralized here. But it doesn't have to be. You can put these buttons anywhere you like. I'm just going to click OK here. And I'm not going to go through the process right now in this tutorial of putting the button in a page. Instead, I'm just going to test the button out as it exists right here as a demonstration. Okay, and as you can see, this takes me to the PayPal checkout system where that description that I normally would have typed in would appear here, along with the total for the purchase. And the customer does not need to have a PayPal account. You see it says don't have a PayPal account. I can use my credit card or bank account if I choose to, because this is considered a buy now transaction. Okay, so this is great. When the customer finishes checkout, they will automatically be redirected immediately after checkout to the leading post page, which was post number 1, and they'll automatically be granted access. And s2Member will also send them a confirmation email that has an access link to the leading post page in that email. And you can customize that as well inside s2Member under your PayPal options. There's a subsection there where you can customize that email so that if the customer got lost in the middle of the transaction, or they forgot where the link was and they need to go back, they have an email with that information in it. Just to expand this down while we're here, you can see the way s2Member formulates the item number. It starts with SP, and then it lists the post and page IDs. And then this last number indicates the time, and this is in programming time, indicating seconds that the links were going to be valid for. And this s2Member will read this information when the transaction comes back into it through the IPN integration that you did with s2Member's PayPal options. Okay, and that's as simple as that. And you can create an unlimited number. I'm going to switch tabs back over. You can create any number of these. So, for example, I might have this one that sells at 89. And then I might have another one that only includes specific post page. Well, for example, I might include one that only produces a button that grants access to this one post. And in that case, I might only charge $19.95. So I would change my description. I could leave this the same and just change the price and the actual post that's being selected. You can create any combination of these that you like. So you might have 4 or 5 different options available, or if you have a long list of products that you're selling, you can create a specific post for each product and then come here and generate a button for each of those products. Now, if you have a developer that's doing this for you, you can also save yourself some time. If you take a look at this shortcode, okay, I'm going to come over here to a new page so I can paste this into. If I paste this in, you'll see that a lot of these attributes can be changed right here in the shortcode. So a lot of times a developer, after they generated 2 or 3 of these shortcodes for the PayPal buttons, they'll become familiar with how they're formulated. And so these shortcodes could be, just changed out on the fly, where it saves you some time. So if you have a lot of products, you might want to take a look at doing it that way. Okay, and that is the specific post page access for s2Member.